Hello, Archbishop Jordan. I'm going to propose to you that we do our first project, and it's going to be a utensil drawer for your actual drawer that you have in your house. You can see here's mine, and it's a project I've been wanting to do for a while because it's a lot of wasted space in a drawer for me to have one of these kind of plastic inserts. So I wanted to make it out of wood, and I was planning on doing it in SketchUp first, so we might as well just do the whole thing together, and then you can see where I'm coming from and how to use the program a little bit. Here's the problem with mine is that the cheap plastic ones, they break. So it actually has a hole in it. And, like I said, it's just a terrible waste of space. So first things you want to do is actually measure the size of your drawer. So here's mine. I believe the width-wise is 10 1/4, and I'm going to try to remember that dimension. Length is 10 1/2. Okay, that's the inside of the drawer. And the depth is about 4 inches. So you can see, if you consider those dimensions compared to what we were using in that plastic thing, there's a lot of extra space going on there. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to use a lot of that. Let me get rid of my phone here. Okay, so we're going to go into SketchUp now. We'll start a new file. So we're here in SketchUp. Again, make sure you're signed into your school email address, SketchUp for Schools. I'll wait for it to load. It is going to be a long video, just to give you a heads up on that. Do I want to open my last session? No. Okay, so we're going to make a new project here. It's going to be feet and inches. I like to get rid of this gentleman off the start. And then we want to go to our views, because I like to start from a top view. And the problem I have is always trying to figure out where the views are. That is not it. Views? Not views. Get rid of academic views, not views. Views. So this is the top view. I'm going to move over here, and you can see me click through some of these things. I'm going to, the first time I use them, I'm going to tell you what the tool's called, and then after that I'm going to start using keyboard shortcuts. So this is the pan tool, otherwise known as the hand. And you can use, this program works best with a mouse, by the way, so I'm zooming in and out right now with a mouse. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, first thing I want to make is a triangle, and I'm going to a rectangle. I'm going to make it the same size as the box that I have, that I actually make. I'm going to move me here. Okay, so I'm going to start at my origin, and you can see that as I'm making a box, in the bottom right hand of the screen, right down here, you can see that the dimensions change for the size of the box that we're going to make. So I know that my drawer, and I'm going to physically type this in, is 10 1/4. So I'm going to represent 10 1/4 like this. So that's 10.25 for a quarter, and in the two colons, apostrophes, whatever you want to call them there, italics. Okay, that is for inches. And then my length is 20 1/2, and I'll show you a different way to represent a half. You can also do fractions like that. Okay, so I just hit enter. And of course it didn't do it at all. Why didn't it do it? So we'll try it again. 10.25 inches by 20 1/2 inches. Enter. There she is. All right, so I'll zoom out. In order to use this tool, which is called the pan tool, otherwise known as, I call it the hand tool. That's H on your keyboard, and then you can zoom in and out. Okay, so there we have a rectangle. I'm going to show you the orbit tool now, which is this one right here. Okay, orbit tool lets you move on a 3D plane, right? For what we're doing right now, 3D planes don't really work so well for us, but they will get us there here eventually. So I'm going to go back to my top view. And now let's start doing some measuring. So this one here, this tool right here, is called a tape measure. It's a very handy tool because you can grab a line and then you move, and then again, paying attention to the bottom corner here again, you can see how far away I am from that line. I'm going to show you a resource. This is a gentleman woodworking for mere mortals. This is a utensil holder that he's made, and he's made 3 different versions of them now. This is the SketchUp file for the 3rd version that he made. Here is the website of him, the video explaining on how he actually makes it. Okay, he goes through all the steps on how he actually makes it. That's him there. It's something that you guys can do at home, and I'm going to post some videos showing you folks how to make it at home if you want to. All right, but it's not an expectation that you make it at home. But I do want you to actually measure your drawer. So this his SketchUp file that he did. I'm going to show you how the tape measure tool works. You can see here that in the bottom right hand corner of the screen is telling me that he made this out of 3/8 of an inch stock. Okay, for the entire diameter, or for the entire perimeter. And for the interior pieces, he used a 1/4 inch stock. So that's what we're going to try to attempt to do. First thing I have to do though is we measured all the way, we measured the entire distance of our drawer. That's for it to fit tight. Nothing's going to fit there tight, okay, because it just needs to be smaller than that in order for it to fit. So we're just going to pick a dimension that's going to give us enough clearance, and I'm going to say, if I make this dimension a 1/2 inch shorter, I think it'll fit. Okay, so did I draw that line? Yes, I drew that line, and I'm going to go this way 1/2 inch. Okay, and that'll let me, it should give me enough clearance. I'm going to use another tool called now the pen, so what's called the line tool. I call it the pencil, but I'm going to draw a line from there to there, from there to there, and that's the new size of our box. I'm going to get rid of some things, so this is called the eraser tool. I'm going to get rid of this line, and this little line, and that little line, and this is the size of our new box now. Tape measure. So if you recall, the size of this material here was 3/8 of an inch. So we're going to draw some lines now. So 3/8 can be represented this way, and you hit enter. Or it can be represented, I have an unruly line here. Let's get rid of that line. Or 3/8. I know the decimal equivalent to 3/8 is 0.375, so we can do that as well. I don't know which one is less keystrokes. Definitely not 0.38. All right, and then hand down to the bottom here. There's lots of ways to use this program, and it's hard to tell you which one is faster than the other. Okay, so that's our outside. I'm just going to do a bunch of lines. We got to figure out, am I doing the line from here or am I doing the line from there? Let's go back and take a look. So his outside piece, his piece on the front and the back go all the way to the edge. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go from here to here, from there to there, hand up to the top here, back to my, oh, sorry, I zoomed out for no reason there. My line tool from there. Oh, I already have a line there. I don't need to draw one. There. Okay. And then I'll draw. Let me just get this so the whole thing's in the frame. There, that should work. Line tool from there to there, and from that point to that point. Okay. So now let's zoom in a corner, and we want our corners to look like his corners. So you can see that his corner is indented, and I'll show you how much it's indented. It's indented by 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we have to make that go up. So we have to draw a line this way and this way by 1/8 of an inch. What's the best way to do that? Well, I'm going to try out the tape measure tool. I'm going to go up 1/8 of an inch, and there, that should work. Jump over to the line tool, go bang, 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 eraser, erase that line. So there we have our dado now. We'll go hand tool over to the other side, line tool, bang, 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 eraser, done. Zooming out, hand, zoom in. Oh, I lost a line. Is it actually gone or is it kind of gone? So, you know, this being a computer program, sometimes things are funny. It looks like it's actually gone. So I'm going to step backwards. So on or undo. So on a Windows machine, it would be is it Command? Yeah, we'll try. Well, I know I'm on a Mac, so I know on a Mac I Command Z. Yeah, and there it comes back. Okay, it might be Control Z on a Windows machine. So try that. Okay, that's for step backwards. Okay, this one still looks okay. So I need to go this way, 1/8 of an inch. Grab my line tool again. Bam, bam, bam. Erase that line. Hand. Line tool. Bam, bam, bam. Erase. There we go. Okay. Zooming. There's different ways to zoom. This one you can zoom in or out by holding the different parts of the keyboard. I think a plus or minus. Nah. So a click. Does it let me do? Yeah, I don't tend to use this one often because it's something you can do with a mouse if you're using a mouse. There is this one here where you can zoom a particular window. This is the one that I think you're going to use a lot, which is zoom extents. So it zooms the entire outside of the project, which I think is pretty powerful. So there's our project as it stands right now. I'm going to do an eraser tool. I'm going to get rid of some of these lines. They call them hidden lines in the drafting world. Okay, start designing some drawers here. So we're going to look at his example again for some guidance, and I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to start with my smallest utensils. And I know my smallest utensils, according to him, and I measured my utensils and they're the same thing. My smallest spoons are 7 1/8. Okay, so I have small spoons and small forks that would fit in that spot just fine. And he gives himself 2 inches of room. So he's got 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. And these bigger spaces here, he leaves himself 2 3/4. So let's see how it shakes down. If I was to do 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, let's see how it looks. So 2 inches this way. Oh, sorry for the weird zoom there. Now, if you recall the thickness of this material, and I'll show you that one again, the thickness of this material here is 1/4 inch. So all the inside stuff is 1/4 inch. I'll do 1/4 that way. Then I'll go 2 inches again. Another 1/4. Oh, I forgot to hit enter. And I just zoomed in for no reason. Zoom back out. And then we'll go this way. 1/4. What does that leave us here? 2 1/4. All right, so we have kind of a wide one on the edge there. So 1/4 inch is not a big deal there, but we do have three spots. So what do we do with the 1/4 inch? Do we just leave it, or do we divide it up amongst the other drawers? I think for my purposes, I'm just going to delete it, or sorry, just leave it the way it is. Um, for no reason at all. I just hit escape on the keyboard to kind of get rid of that if you're interested. Should we go, so if you recall, the depth of my entire drawer was 4 inches. How deep is his? So he's just 2.5. Okay, I think 2.5 is pretty reasonable. And let's take a look at here. He's got a little 1/4 inch piece of material on the back of the whole thing. So making my entire depth, 4 inches probably doesn't serve a lot of purpose. But I could see the, yeah, 2.5. 2.5 works for me. All right, so let's go and do our first drawer. So the first drawer, let's just do a quick check. I'm getting old, so sometimes I forget. 7 1/8. And I know that's the decimal equivalent of 7 1/8 right there. And then we'll do another 1/4 inch. All right, So that's for a bunch of small drawers, but I don't need a bunch of small drawers. I need only a couple small drawers. So let's start doing some lines here to complete this stuff. So there's one drawer. And see, I've got this loose tail now. If I hit escape on the keyboard, I can get back to some normal stuff here. Um, so I think two small drawers would probably do me okay. What does he have here? Which pieces are good? So he has these pieces as solid. So you can see he does big long pieces there, and then he does solid there. So I think these pieces are going to be big and long. But which one should be big and long? We should just go with one big and long in the middle, right? So this piece of wood will be from start to finish, it'll be the entire thing. So this piece of wood will be the entire thing as well. And I'll do that for now. And just so we can have some continuity here in our design, we talked about this one being, go back to line. This piece is going to be the whole thing long. All right, so that part will work. And then if you want to do this, so I'm pretty sure his dados are generally 1/8 of an inch all over the place. So we'll do this, yeah, 1/8 of an inch there. Um, what am I gonna do here? I want my tape measure, which is this. And I go up 1/8 of an inch there. Go back to my line tool so I can get my dados in. And then erase that line. So now I have a dado there. There'll be a dado here too. So tape measure. Oh, come on. Enter. Back to my line. And then erase. And then this way too. So tape measure, which is T on the keyboard if I haven't said that recently. Oh, I'm already at 1/8 of an inch there. So sometimes you just, without typing it in, you can just trust the dimensions. I do sometimes. I'll trust the dimensions of the program gives me. And then erase that little chunk there. So there's the dados that I have going on for that one. So I feel pretty confident about these two drawers as being small. Now I need to go bigger. Okay, I need to have two big drawers. So we have like small forks, small spoons, and then I need a couple big ones here. And what does he have for his kind of his bigger ones? So he's got a drawer here that is an eighth and an eighth. Um, and these bigger ones are 9.5. Well, let's go back and take a look at the picture up here of his video. Oh, that's this other one that he made. This is the new one. So you can see he's got steak knives over there and some bigger spoons and stuff. Does he have the, down here at the bottom, does he have it all completed? Yeah, there it is right there in that picture. So he's got kind of some steak knives and other knives there and some forks and spoons. So he's got his main forks and spoons here, I think. Yeah, so you can see forks and spoons, and then he's got knives. Okay, so we'll do that. So we'll go 8 and an eighth. Okay. I kind of want to get rid of those lines, but I know that always has consequences at this point. So I'm going to go 8 and an eighth, which is 1, 2, 5. Okay, and then I know we're doing 1/4 inch, right? Okay. So let's go to my line tool and start drawing some of this. So I know I want this piece to be solid. I want this piece to be solid. And I want this piece to be solid. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. I did realize I forgot a dado in one spot, and that's right here. So line tool. and then erase. Oh, this one's got to be the same thing. Okay, so line tool and erase. All right. I think you guys are kind of getting the idea as far as how to actually design this thing. I'm going to probably pause the video now until I get the rest of this designed, and then I'll show you what it is, being as the video is 20 minutes long. I'll be back. All right, after a lot of redraws and taking things apart, I'll show you kind of where we're at here. Is that I had to increase the thickness of this material here because 1/4 inch wasn't going to cut it, because then the two datas would combine, so I had to go to 3/8 there. And then after playing around with these dead areas back here, at the back of a drawer, it's not a terrible thing to have a dead area to throw, I don't know, matches or elastics or things back there. So right here, this is the length of your long knives, or a steak knife, 2.5. And then I had just basically pulling random things out of my, sorry for the bird noise in the background, we have a bird. I was just pulling random things out of the utensil drawer. I found a potato peeler. The potato peeler happened to be 7.5 inches long, or just less than 7. It was about 7 inches long, so that seemed like a logical choice to put in there. So I'm going to show you the main parts of this program now that makes it so powerful, and it's the 3D portion of it. So we're going to go to our orbit tool, which is this one right here. Okay, it's just O on your keyboard, and I'm going to start looking at it kind of more in the 3D perspective. Now, this program lets you do a push-pull thing. So you can see that this tool right here is called push-pull, and I'm going to grab one of these faces. And I know from his project that he did, his project is 2.5 inches thick plus the back. So let's go 2.5 inches. So I'm going to pull this face up 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to work my way around and do that for all of the faces here, everything that needs to go. The program does get a little confused sometimes when you try to push-pull things. So just make sure you don't go in the wrong directions, because that is a possibility. So right there, I'm on the right plane, 2.5, 2.5. Okay, and I'm going to pause the video again and come back to you when this is done. Okay, so here's my completed 3D rendering drawing. I'll show you the orbit tool. The orbit tool is pretty cool because you can actually like go and get inside one of these things, right? And then you're like, okay, now I'm in here. And it's hard to see exactly where you're at sometimes, but you know, it's a pretty cool little program. You can even get underneath of it, and you can see that I'm waiting for a bottom because that part is not solid yet. I will probably put a 1/4 inch piece or 1/8 of an inch piece on the back here like he does. He puts a 1/4 inch piece, so I'll probably have to put a 1/4 inch piece on the back to make it all solid. Yeah, that's the end of the program. So design your utensil drawer and submit it, and we should be good to go. Thank you.